duntov. So today, as you can see, I'm at the athletics ballpark site. It is Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. Alright, so there's a lot going on here. We can see the tower crane moving something around there, but we look down in front of it, a lot more of the decking is going in this area. Alright, so originally you can see where all these there's a lot of crew working down this way here. This decking has been going on. Then we can see in front of that, closer to me, that they got this newer area going. Alright, let's see what they're moving here. We got you can see right there, this crawler crane is lowering some stuff right now. And if I had to guess, that's some more of the decking right there. Sorry for the shake, I'm on my cell phone just holding it, no tripod. So when I pulled up, I did go across the street over there at the church along Reno. I did go in their parking lot to see if I could see anything different, but from there you really can't see over the construction wall much yet. Just through the opening of the entrance there you could see a little bit, but it wasn't really that good of a view yet. You know, as these decks get poured and keep going up, you know, then of course we'll be able to just, you know, get some footage from over the construction wall. But as of right now, that side's still not the best. Alright, you can see all the shoring going up underneath this area. You know, pretty much that's what's holding up all the decking so they could get it poured. Alright, so when I was here last week, they were taking off the forms for all these columns over here. But then if we look over here to the right, we got some more forms there. If I had to guess, I would say that that's going to be an elevator core. And then right next to it you can see all the rebar. This might be one of the 6 roof supports that are going to go in. You know, the big there's going to be 6 of them. There is one across the way here. You can see it right there. I think it was last week when they were pouring concrete last week on that one. So these are like the angled ones. You know, you can see a little bit of the angle now on that side, but those, if I'm not mistaken, they're gonna have 6 of those ones, and then it'll hold up the, you know, pretty much the whole structure for the roof. So we got one there. It appears like they're putting another one up across this way over there. You know, so they'll have them spaced out to hold that roof up. All right, so we have the offices all over here, and if we look behind them, see they got a lot more of the rebar all set up over here waiting. Rebar cages, but then if we pan over here past this smaller yellow crane here, there are some crews over here working on some of the right here to making some kind of cages right here. And if we keep moving over, we can see how they have all the, you can see all the giant, I don't know if they're railroad ties, but the big blocks of wood there all lined up. That's so they can move this crawler crane around, keep it from sinking down into the ground there, so that way they can move it, you know, back and forth. I want to look at the, this would be the back of the stadium here. We can see over here they're putting, you can see all that rebar there sticking up, so that's probably going to be one of those 6 supports right there for the roof. But then if we look behind, I want to, right by the dirt over there, I'm going to try to zoom in on it. This is as far as I could zoom. We could see they got some kind of concrete poured back there, or it looks, you know, it has like a little wall to it. You know, so eventually they're going to have all this, you know, all these columns going up all the way around. But with the renderings, I don't remember though, because they are going to have that glass wall in the back. I'm not sure how high up it was, how much seating is underneath that wall part. You know, but that's moving along, and then across the way there, you know, they're just making their way around the corner here. You can see a bunch of crew down in there. It looks like that might be some rebar on the back of that flatbed over there. Alright, you can see they're lifting stuff out. The red crane there's just lifted something out of the decking area. I was trying to see, I don't really notice it if there's the big the concrete pump arm. I don't see it from this side. When I was across the street by the church over there, I did see a lot of concrete trucks, and I do see one back here doing the clean out. And they were all lined up kind of on the back side, like they would be next to where the red tower crane is, but I can't see what they're pumping. Could it be some of the decking on top? I can't make it out from here. Maybe after this is downloaded, we'll be able to see. But I can't make out any pump arms coming up. And as I'm looking at this yellow crane right in front of me, it does look like it has one of these. It looks like its cable is still hooked up to this form right here. Yeah, you can see it coming down right here. So there must be, there must be a crew on the other side getting that all hooked up. Alright, I'm going to move down a little bit. We'll try to get a better view. Oh, actually, before I move, now we can see the pump truck right there. They're actually extending the arm out right now. I'm pretty sure it was last week that concrete column right there, the big one. That's what they were pumping stuff into that right. Last week, so you can see all the forms are off of that now. So, and someone did comment. I don't know if I could zoom in enough. They said it looked like a steel beam or something there, and it's hard to make out. But on the top, right in the center of the screen, it does look like it could be something like that, where maybe the steel will hook up into that. Pretty interesting watching this arm, how big it is. And then we have the crawler crane. They're actually loading some more what appears to be the forms. Alright, let me move down. We'll try to see if we can see around some of these forms going in and figure out what they're working on. It is almost noon. I do see a lot of the crew seem like they're all gathering around. Might be lunchtime. A lot of them are walking. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's not lunchtime right now. But we'll walk down and see what else we could see. If we look in the center here, and here is the marker again. I like to show this all the time. It was hidden for a little while, but it's uncovered again. That is the home plate marker. If you've ever saw any of the groundbreaking ceremony, they had a sign by it also showing that it was home plate, but there it is right there, the green marker right in front of the porta potty. So this fill dirt is getting smaller and smaller, the big pile. And after they pour all these footers and columns and stuff, you could see that guy there is compacting some of it down right now. but they do fill it in. See the concrete there? They will fill in even with the right to the columns there. So all this side will be filled in. You won't see this concrete like sticking up. Yep, I think it's lunchtime. All the cranes have stopped working. I did see this crawler crane. Someone just got out of the cab. So it's looking like lunchtime. Trying to figure out this decking. So if we look at the front where they're still putting it down, it just looks more like a plywood. But then behind it, the original part they start putting in, how it has all these like black looking things. I can't make out what exactly it is, like how it's gonna work. If anybody knows, leave a comment. Let us know, like, how they pour the concrete on there, because it has all these elevated box-looking things. What's everyone thinking about the World Series? How about that 18-inning game the other night? Now it's like tied up 2-2 with Blue Jays winning yesterday. So it's a pretty good series. Seems pretty evenly matched right now. See if the Dodgers could pull it out again this year. Be pretty cool though to watch one here, wouldn't it? So got to get them A's in contention. Once they're here, this would be the place to have some World Series games, because this city's made for it. Super Bowl was a hit when they had that here a couple years ago. They're trying to get it back in 2029. I'm not sure when they're supposed to vote on that, but that's what they're saying, that Vegas should get the 2029 Super Bowl again. So now we just need some World Series games also. Just zooming around just to see what we could see, after this is loaded. Alright, so those are the pedestrian bridge. That's the one from Excalibur over to the old Tropicana corner there. If you remember, those are elevated. There's actually like a parking area underneath the ground over here. So last I heard was they were still trying to figure out how they're going to incorporate you know, everything in. Now I don't know what the new Bally's renderings released. I guess I'm gonna have to look at those and see if we could figure out if these pedestrian bridges are still in the same spot or not. You know, because if they take out the underground area, then these escalators aren't gonna line up because they're resting on top of that. So I still get questions people ask about, you know, doesn't seem like it's big enough to build all the Bally's, the hotel to 2 towers and all this restaurants and shops and bars. But if I'm not mistaken, I haven't researched it or, you know, for a while, but when they were building New York, I could have sworn, I mean, now that, you know, after you guys watch this, we'll be able to verify it, but out here right now I haven't re-verified it, but I think New York is only on like 18 acres. I might be way off on that total, but that's what I'm thinking it was. You know, it's a pretty small footprint, pretty much the hotel, then the little corner you have the shops with the roller coaster going over them, and then there's the parking structure right in the back of it. It's not a big footprint for, you know, like something like this MGM Grand. You know, so that's 18 acres. They pretty much have about 26 or 27 acres over here to use, you know, around this whole perimeter. So it's gonna fit. It will be a lot, but it's gonna fit. All right, let's look at this crane here. It's holding up this form. We could see it a little better here. You can see the cables hooked up to that. I want to check out the concrete pump truck again. Alright, so from here it looks like they're working on this right here again. I can't really tell where the end of the arm is. And from here we can't see the, you can see the pump truck itself over there, but I can't see the concrete trucks if they're backed in there or not, if it's actually pumping anything right now. And then if you follow around on that side, we can see the, you know, all the columns that are going around. That would be the southwest side of the stadium there. So it's looking good. Alright, if you're not subscribed and you would like to follow along with this build, please subscribe to my channel, Raiders1967. Get updates on this athletics stadium, and then as well as the new Hard Rock. They're transforming the old Mirage and building a new guitar tower. Then I throw in my random other stuff. I will try to get back out to the Brightline West They're really not doing a lot. Not doing too much. It is like a parking structure that they're building that I did show the columns going in on my one video. But they did announce on the news, I think it was yesterday, that they're starting to put like the culvert, the draining system in Las Vegas Boulevard in front of it. I think they said that's going to be like a 3-week project. They're getting all that stuff set up before they start the actual main construction over there. So I'll try to get out there in the next week or so. Not a lot to see. It's more just leveled out dirt and a little parking deck going in right along the freeway. Alright, anything you liked about the video, if you could give me a thumbs up, that would be great. And then there's something new. I'm just learning about it. Some people are already using it, but it's called a hype. If you do enjoy the video, you could give it a hype, and that just helps the video get seen by more people. I guess it's to help smaller channels, compete with the million subscriber channels. You get so many hypes to use. I don't know if it's a week or a month, but I'd appreciate that also. That's something new that I'm just learning about. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I will talk with you guys next time.